Hi all, so we are back to work in this first page spread of our journal. You know, last week we worked on our content page and I'm still deciding what I'm doing with these. So I'll do a catch up on that next time. I think I pretty much figured out what I'm going to do at the beginning, but let's just go ahead and jump in on this collage. Just have some collaging fun, and I'm just going to kind of go with what I call my intuitive collage. I just have a stack of some images, some papers, some of my mark making, some of the background prints we pulled. This is some coffee stained kind of the Indian paper, that sort of these circles and stuff. So what I kind of do is I just kind of get a group of stuff together and then I go with it. I really don't have any idea of the total direction we're going to go in, but we are going to collage both of these spreads. And my inspiration for this journal, I have decided, is that this is going to, you know, my theme for the year, those of you who follow me on Patreon and in my art methods, whatever, you know that my theme for the year is mail art. So I've been just doing a lot around the idea of mail art, postcards, journaling, how we keep you know, the memories from our trips and things like that. But this is going to be done from the standpoint of an abstract artist, you know, maybe from the 40s or the 50s. I'm thinking more like the 50s, female abstract artist traveling the world. And she's interpreting her journeys and her destinations from the standpoint of her art on the pages. But then there'll be postal stamps. These are some of the ones I made. These are some actual stamps as part of my collection. I've got like, tons of different ones over here when I travel. I got these the last time I was in France at a Garnier. So there'll be a combination of some real stamps and some ones I make, and then I'll use some different washi tapes and stuff. So let's just see. But that's going to be the theme for this book. So every page is going to be our what am I saying? Our collaging, our jelly printing, various things interpreted into mail art. Okay? So that's my theme. So as you guys kind of think about what your theme is, or you can pick a similar theme, it's a lot of fun. Okay, so the first thing I'm sort of dealing with is, so when this print was made, you know, we had, where the paper was folded, you kind of get these white lines. So I kind of had the idea of maybe using like distressed inks and kind of go in and kind of lighten those up a little bit, see what we come away with. So I'm going to kind of just spread it across the page just to get rid of some of it. Probably a lot of it's going to be covered, but I figured I'm just going to use this. This is tea dye that I'm using right now. So this is a lighter one. Starting with that just to see what it would do. So this is one way to kind of integrate your print a little bit if you have some spots like that that you kind of want to just kind of get rid of, tone down. And this is cool because it, just even looking at it, just starts getting kind of like an old page vibe to it. Yeah, that really does a good job of taking care of it. And then we can also, so I'm going to take a little bit of this, this is Spice Chai. It's a little darker, so I'm going to kind of go easy as I'm putting it on. So see how it's just a little darker, which I'm going to kind of extend it to various other parts of the page just to kind of integrate it. And it just makes this a little darker. So we'll just kind of play around with this. A lot of this is going to get covered, but since I'm covering, I think it's a good idea just to kind of play and see what it's going to do on the page and with colors and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so just using our distressed inks. Alrighty, so just in case some of you all were wondering about that. Okay, let's go. So I think I was going to kind of like, I liked this. So let me get, where's my, so one of the ways that one of my little tricks for cutting this kind of handmade paper is I just take one of my fine line brushes, a little bit of water, and literally I just kind of take it and bring it around where I want to cut, and it literally loosens the fibers. Some of these fibers are overlapping, so some of these will kind of tear like that. Yep. And literally you can just kind of go around and see, it just pulls the fibers apart. So we're just kind of pulling that around. So it's one of the easiest and most organic ways to tear handmade paper. This is just plain water. Okay. Okay. So I'll just end it here. Okay. Okay, so kind of start with putting that there. Well, I like that already. Oh my goodness. That looks so good. So I'll end up cutting that off there or tearing it off. And what do I want to do? So here we're just doing some collaging. Actually, maybe I want this. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, so I do the same thing because this paper is the this paper right here is that calligraphy paper that I love. So basically, I tear it the same way, just with a little bit of water on a thin line brush. Oh, that's great. So this right here, I'm gonna go ahead and get, so I'm kind of ending it right at the bottom of that page. Of this, I'm using our print area to define where I'm working. So this will be something like that. Wow, I'm loving it. Oh, how good that looks. You guys know me. Oh boy, I get so excited. What else do I have here that I want? I'm thinking I'm not going to overdo it here. I really like, oh, just the beauty and simplicity of this. I mean, just right there, it just looks just like a yummy piece of old wall. Like this could just be, you know, just, I don't know, just, it looks very organic. And at the same time, it could be a page in a book, you know, in an old manuscript, or just a piece of a wall exposed, maybe that had some, I don't know, some scripting on it or something. I love it. Okay, that is good there. So now let me see which of these stamps do I want. Like that one. Let's see. Okay, I like this. Okay, so I'm gonna get this down, and then we'll come back to our stamps. So what I have here is I have a mixture of PVA, or art glitter glue, with a little bit of water in it. So I basically really thinned it down, just with a little bit of water. I mean, maybe a dropper full of water, and I poured just a bit of the art glitter glue out. So I want to use this as our glue, so it's not so thick, but at the same time, you know, it's going to do the job. And the other thing is that it's not going to be, that looks good on, wow, look at the print it made on my book page. Look at that. That will be keeping. Okay, let's get this down. Perfect. But yeah, look at this. It's the coffee that's staining in there that activated with a little glue and water. So now I can just take and flatten this down. And this is going to dry, you know, not real shiny. And what I like about it is that it's, you know, it'll be perfect, but it won't. I really don't care for, honestly, Mod Podge. I mean, it has its applications when it relates to, like, hold up, where's my, guess I gotta go get another one. Tissue. Because what I want to do is I definitely want to wipe some of this off. First of all, it's not going to be super shiny because I've watered it down. And so I like to kind of get rid of some of it right now before it dries up. Gosh, look how good that looks. Boy, so I'm pulling this off because I plan on keeping this base right here. I like that print. That will get used. Put that over there. Okay, so now same thing. This is going to go down here. So if you just use a PVA, a white glue, just using a white glue with some water, just water down a little bit. So let's say the ratio, I would say a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 ratio. So 2 to 3 of glue, 1 of water. I'd say that's a good ratio. I love using this calligraphy paper as well because it is translucent as well. So it dries. I feel like I have more. thumbs than I do fingers. Okay, just that extra bit I wanted to lay flat. See how it just flattens down nicely. And then this piece, I had it figured like right there, I think. I only made a little bit of glue up at a time. I'll make some more because I don't like to have more than what I need. And it's good. Oh my goodness, it's good. So when we go to the second side, this paper is so thin that it will tear, and I'm being a little rough with it. I'll be able to make some more of this glue. Okay. But this paper is just beautifully thin, and it so what I like to do also is get a piece of right here, wax paper, and you can really burnish it good with your hand with wax paper. Maybe I overdid it here. No, it doesn't stick. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Oh, that looks good. So I'll make a little bit more because I could stand to get some underneath there. Where is my, here we are, my awl. So I'll use that to kind of lift this up a little bit. It looks like, see, it could just stand some underneath there. Just a little bit. Okay, so I'll show you the ratio here because we have this other side to do. So literally just a spot of water. That's probably a little bit too much. Just kind of give you guys an idea. Pour a little bit of that back in there because I don't want that much. So half of that. So what is that? Maybe a half a teaspoon of water to just kind of like eyeball it because I've done this for so long, but to kind of give you guys, so maybe a 2-to-1 ratio. So that was about a teaspoon of the glue to a half a teaspoon of water. Because it's going to seem like it's pretty runny. You know, you can sort of see how it's dripping. But that's what you want. Because we just, especially working with these thin papers, these tissue papers and stuff, we don't really need a whole lot of glue. They'll suck down nicely just on their own. And then just using something pointy. I use my book awl, but any kind of little pin or, see, that's down there good. Okay, I don't have to worry about it. Just put a little bit there. So any little edges, just using a needle or an awl or something like this, you can get those edges down. Okay, this is looking good. So now for the stamps, I kind of want to do, I kind of like to make clusters, you know. Can't tell, is that upside down? I think it's supposed to be like this. I don't read the text, so like I'm at a loss. Okay, I like that. So let me put this one down first. I'm going to use, since this is these papers are thicker, so the glue, this glue that I've made, they would stick, but you know, why risk it coming up when it's just easier? I can use the glue full strength here, and that's going to be perfect. So basically, a part of what we're going to be doing as we're working with this, with our collaging, it's really just going to be mindful of the best glues to use in the situation. Okay, So we'll use all kind of glues, depending on what I'm gluing down. These are stamps that I made just using scraps, literally, of papers. So that has old wallpaper on it and coffee stained grid paper. And so these, putting down like this. Oh, I'm loving it. Put some down here. Yummy, yeah? Oh, I'm going to have a lot of fun with this book. So we'll put that one down there like that. Okay, so we're going to let this dry up. We're going to come back to that. Let's go to this side. Now, let's see. What do I want over here from my stash? I kind of want, I was thinking about using this and some of this. Let's see how we work with those. Okay, so let's get a little bit of this down. Let me see. I kind of want an odd tear, but I want to kind of control it a bit like that. There we go. So let's just get these off of here. Okay. Okay. So I kind of want to get that down there like that. Oh, I like that because I want to see some of this book, but not all of that. So let's go ahead and use that. Here, this is definitely, because we're using these tissue papers, this thin wet glue is perfect. If you feel like it feels like a little too wet when you're using it, you can always add more glue. But I always try to work in small batches. That way I don't get, I don't have too much left over, although you can have it in a closed container. Since we are going to be working with this, if you do make a lot of it, you can definitely put it in, where is my, here we are. You can always just put it, have it in a jar with the top. And then that way you can close it down. We're just using our wax paper, just burnishing it. Oh, I love working with these backgrounds. One of my favorite things in the collage is working with these jelly print backgrounds because you can do so much with them. You guys are going to see as we work along. It's just amazing how much you can do with these backgrounds. Okay, so let me see. You guys know how much I love my ink blots. So let's just see how we can make this one work. So once again, I'm going to, you can use this water trick on just about any kind of paper that's sort of thin and porous. Okay. These are the ink blots. I make these on the jelly plate too. Literally, I just put the ink down and lay the paper down, and using a waste paper like a piece of What am I saying? Sorry. My mind is all over the place. I need to check something too. Hopefully I got the right mic on with you guys and I'm not. Oh yeah, perfect. But before I started the video, I didn't check to make sure it was the right mic so that the volume's good. But I got the right one on. So this could go down like that. And I could get rid of this white, but I like the idea of it being a square. I don't really want that gone. So this is going to disappear a bit, but it's disappearing into something that's already kind of, you know, opaque, as you can tell by looking at this. So I'm going to do that, but I am going to come over to here, and I'm going to grab this right here. Where's my... And I'm going to integrate this anyway. This is my scripting that I did on a jelly plate. So I'm going to integrate this into this area some kind of way. Let's get rid of that too. Don't need this edge. So work with these thin papers. I'm telling you, water with it's a very thin water color brush. I mean, this is, you know, this little sable brush I use. My water will do the trick. So I think I'm gonna do it like that. I like that. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. Perfect. That's perfect. And then we'll figure out which of these stamps we're going to use. But let's go ahead and get this down. So I know I wanted to kind of be right in that area. So let me just go gently. And I'm using a flat brush that's come on. That's soft. So kind of make sure your paintbrush is soft. And I'm laying it down. I'm trying to be as careful as possible, but trying to lay it to have as few wrinkles as possible. So here we'll do the same thing. Just going to kind of gently start pressing it down. And let's see how this edge is up. So we'll grab that underneath. Just trying to make sure that I don't... I'm just trying to work without the wrinkles. That's the most important thing. And pretty much, it's pretty controllable. Just have to take our time. And we'll let this, and just kind of like, once you do it, you just got to make sure you just let it, give it the time to dry. And you can put a layer over top, like I'm doing here. It'll just add that extra little layer. But this paper is so thin, it doesn't need a lot. That thin layer. Oh, these look good together. So this is on all of this, of the white, tissue paper. Just dollar store tissue paper. And the other page is using, so we're using the same tissue paper here that we used for our backgrounds. And then this paper is traditional Japanese rice paper. So just want to get this as straight as possible. Come on, cooperate. There we go. Perfect. So we're using two different types of papers here, but both of them are thin and translucent. So you can use, of course, your thicker papers, and we'll be using some of those as we go. So I'll use some coffee stain papers. But I like to work with, you know, thick to thin. I mean, different thick weights. I don't really like using it all. You know, I kind of like to move the weights around so that you get really kind of things that sort of disappear on your surface. Like this is all but disappeared. And then if you use a page weight like this one, I'm not using this right now, but this is just coffee dye paper. So this is a thicker paper, which we could use and integrate, and we will be doing in our collages. So if you're wondering, like if you're wondering about the different papers and stuff, we'll be able to play back and forth around with the various weights. But it's a good idea to have a combination of different papers and weights at your disposal, I would say. Just kind of soaking up a little bit of this glue with my tissue. And basically really just kind of lightly brushing a little of the extra moisture off. So yeah, just, you know, kind of have a number of different, let me see where I want to put this. Like that. Have a number of different weights around for you to kind of choose from. I want to use, kind of want to use these stamps too. I just kind of be careful not to have it look contrived. You know, I want it to look like I don't know, I like that. Let's see. Actually, I like them when they were down here. I almost don't think I want anything up there. This is a little bit of that right there. It almost looks kind of cool because it looks like it's kind of a continuation of that circle. Wonder if I put just that with this stamp here, how that'll work. Let me just kind of hold it up like this so I can see it. I don't know. Guess I shouldn't be so picky. What do you guys think? I mean, I guess what I'm trying to weigh out is like planning the page. I mean, like having it look mail arty, but at the same time, if a person actually made this, let's say, and then they had to mail it, let's say this is a piece of art that they were actually mailing to their friends, wouldn't they have to just go with a stamp that's available? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I like that now. Okay, so let's say that stamp was available. Oh my goodness. But it's like you still would have to kind of go with, you know, like how here in the States you could have like a nice card or something you did, and then when you go to send it, you kind of got to go with what the stamps are for the, you know, they're being offered by the post office, right? It's like you can't say, you can't take your design in there and say, oh, this is my design. I want you to make me a stamp that's going to work with it. So from that standpoint, I guess it's like keeping that in mind. Okay, let's go ahead and put this down. But I do like this one. So I guess it's a matter of going and seeing what is available. Like if you were really sending this out as a mail art piece, right? And then you just got to go to the post office and pick whatever you think is going to work. Probably you wouldn't even think about it, truthfully. You're just like finishing your art and you're sending it out. But I do like that. That works for me. I think that looks good. And then down here, we'll put these because I do like these down there. Okay. So this will go right here. Go ahead and okay. And then this one down there. Yep. Oh, I love it. Perfect. So we're doing pretty good. 35 minutes and we've gotten the 2 pages collaged. So next week we're going to do some more jelly printing techniques and probably put another page spread down. That's what I'm thinking. So we'll kind of, you know, do some printing, collaging, but we'll do a lot of collaging too because we want to work through our book pages. So I'm using my fingers here to really get this down. This surface is still wet there, so I don't want to do too much pressing and pull up the paper because it is so thin. It needs to dry. Okay, so now what we need to do, let me put my brush in water so that's not sitting there getting, so I'll let you see this part of it. Oh, I love it. This is going to be so much fun. Look at this. Oh my goodness. See these stamps? We can get this thing to focus. Come on. Let's cooperate. I think it just takes me being patient because once it focuses in, okay, so guys, you could see all of that yummy texture. Okay, over here, same thing. If I get close, then we can sort of see all the texture. Oh, love it. Okay, perfect. So to finish it up, let me get my stamps here. So I'll use this one. And I'll use the black here. This is just some of the various stamps I've been collecting. So I'm kind of do it like this. Ah, perfect. Oh, I love it. And here we'll use this one. I love this 3-part one, you know, this little conglomeration, but I got to be careful because I'll use it too much and I don't want that for what we're doing. But we'll get this one down like right in here. It's a part of the stamp. Oh, perfect. Good, because it didn't overdo it. You know, I pressed it so that I pressed it harder in one spot than I did the other, just to kind of give it that sort of look. And then, where is my block? Hold up. I've got to get, I keep on saying this, I've got to get more of these. Use this one. More of these lucite things, you know, for stamp backings. I just need to, I don't know. I keep on saying this. I need to go to the dollar store and just see what they have there that can be used because these things are expensive. I'd rather buy stamps than buy the acrylic blocks. Oh, I made my light go out. Sorry about that. I went into the drawer and I loosened the light. You probably was wondering what happened to part of it. Okay, so let's just do this here. So just find yourself some of the different mail art stamps and do this one. And some of this over here needs to dry. I'm getting print there, but it's still a little wet. So I'll let that dry and then probably add some more stamping to it. But here I can let me just kind of put this over here like that. So you see how I double up. I buy the long blocks and then I'm putting like stamps all around them. So that's my solution. Alrighty. This looks great. So I think this is a good place to stop. And I'm going to let everything dry up. I'll let you see. See? So just you use a few stamps and, you know, some of the stamps I had already stamped before, the ones I made. So I have different, so you have different stamp marks going various, you know, different ways. But I think we're in a good spot. So I'm going to let this dry up some more. I'm probably going to do a little bit more maybe. But I love them like this. I want them to have that mail art feel, but I don't really want to overdo. And maybe some I might do more, some I might not. But these I love. I think they're perfect just the way they are. And just having a book full of these, guys, can you imagine when it's all done and we're just flipping through the pages and we have this kind of stuff? It just looks so authentic. So that's going to start telling us what we're going to do for our covers. I'm almost feeling that I may actually cover it with cloth. We may be using some old linen-y, coffee stained kind of, you know, cloth or something on it. I'll start thinking about that too, so that even like you go to Goodwill or maybe you have like an old tablecloth that's linen, or, you know, that's gotten holes and, you know, stain and stuff in them over the years, but you can't bear to throw it away because, you know, it's a family piece. You might have gotten it from your mother, grandmother. Just remind you that's good fabric to actually coffee stain, and then we can use it to cover the books. I'm almost thinking that's the direction I'm going to go in. So here we have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun creating these with you. I'm just going to have a lot of fun working through this book with everyone. It seems like you guys are all having a great time. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do. Make sure you hit the little bell like they say so that you can get the latest updates. If you like this video, thumbs it up. And I'll see you guys next week. And take care of yourselves out there with everything that's going on in our country. Let's just stay in our studios. Continue to work. Just send out a lot of love and positive vibes. Stay close to family. And just know that we're going to get on the other side of this and our country is going to be stronger. And the world, because this is happening to every country, it seems like. So love you guys all. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.